Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome to our neck of the woods.
How is everybody today? Probably belly's full. Get a couple naps in.
Who slept in?
Yeah, we all slept in. Even Raina slept in.
Ah, that turkey comatoseness.
Yes. It was fun. We had a good time. Good times. Ate lots of food. Hey, Robert.
Right on.
Roger Dodger. I will go like a soul. And like a soul.
Like a
I will
soul.
go.
Yeah, that's
And copy.
it.
Copy.
So we hope that everybody had a wonderful day yesterday. It means a lot when you're able to
Beautiful.
reconnect with your families and your loved ones.
Ooh, got a little smudge on there.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go check the mail here in a minute.
I wanted to discuss today a little bit. I kind of want to wait till more people get on so that more people can get the message about the Uluru. The Uluru. Um, kind of like a mass meditation or a worldwide prayer. I don't care how you want to look at it.
No matter what, it's to raise vibration
It's
on every
yes,
angle.
yes. And we put a link in the description to and I know the video is a half an hour, but it's really worth watching if you have never went and looked at it. Anything that Stephen and Evan Strong have done. They're these two Australian blokes, father and son, and they do a lot of origin research from the Aboriginal standpoint. Um, and I think they're really this movement that they're doing for what'll be their summer solstice and our winter solstice. Um, they did it last year, and I remember there was a mass meditation for Yule last year. So I don't know if any of you guys are interested in that, but I can't think that anything that helps raise the vibration of the planet is a good thing. Hello, Rob.
But for people to watch it so you can talk about it, I guess.
Yeah. Hey.
Hello,
Hold on.
hello.
That's right up. Got my volume on. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes.
sure can.
Okay.
Edge didn't knock all your coffee over, did he?
No.
Okay.
You know how he tries to get out of the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't fit. This cup won't fit in the holder, and I had it in my lap,
Oh God.
and he almost whole paw.
Yeah.
I said, "Whoa!" Lucky I knocked his paw away.
Hey, Barney.
Hi, Bonnie. Hi,
Brian.
Brian.
He's been knuckle deep. Driving glass. He's all up in there. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Brian.
Oh no, I left my coffee down there.
The case of the misplaced coffee. Dun dun dun.
Coffee issues this morning.
My only issue is that I don't have an unending pot.
I'm having iced coffee this morning.
Ooh, sounds good.
It's caramel. I saw Bonnie's Thanksgiving Day dinner.
I know. That was so nice of her to share her family with all of us. And it looked like you guys were all having a good time.
That was cool.
And I must say, I really enjoyed seeing those kids playing chess.
Yep.
Of all things, right?
Except for the cell phones.
My nephew plays chess, and man, he's a really smart kid. He's a really great kid, and Yeah, well, cell phones are a little bit inevitable in this day and age. There's always going to be one person in the group glued to it, right? Well, that's what the kids were there for. The kids should have been helping with the cleanup. See, that was how it was always done in our family. The grown-ups handled setting everything out and cooking and everything else, but the kids handled the cleanup.
That's what I got to do today, Bonnie. Clean up.
Brian, we saw that Mike was dressed up for the occasion, and quite honestly, when people do things like that in fun, it's actually very disrespectful, and they don't even begin to understand how disrespectful that is. It would be like holding the Holy Bible and talking about it as a mythology, right? It would be that same principle when you take somebody else's holy things and it's just for fun. When things are holy, they're holy. You know?
Sacred.
It was very disappointing to me to see Mike do that last night. So I chose not to watch. That was what my choice was. Yeah, I don't think a whole lot of people who make fun of other people's stuff, whether intentionally or not. And sometimes, when they stop themselves at a certain point, you think, oh, well, this person at least has some cognitive, thing going on that's telling them that this is not right and they shouldn't continue doing this. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the thing about that all in fun that everybody thinks, but it's, yeah, you don't often, it's part of that consideration for other people and their ways, and not everybody thinks like that.
Without consideration,
Yeah,
what others will think. That's the uninformed part.
Yeah, it's one thing as a child not knowing any better to play Cowboys and Indians because that's what everybody in the neighborhood's doing, but it's an entirely different ballgame when you're an adult and without having any knowledge of what makes those things special to that group of people, and just using it as a fun. You couldn't walk out there and say put on blackface and walk around with a bucket of chicken. Everybody would call you every name in the book, right? You can't do that. And there's a reason you can't do that, because it's inappropriate. So, oh no, honey, you're okay. You're okay.
Yeah.
Hi, B Dog. Good to see you. I hope you're lasting up there in Canada. We had a big cold front come through last night. You climbed Uluru? Oh my gosh, B Dog, you should come up and tell us about that. I would. Does the rock hum? Does it really hum? Because I can't look at a picture of Uluru and that rock doesn't sing to me in a picture. I've always been fascinated with Uluru and the rainbow serpent myths and stuff from out of Australia. I've always found them fascinating, just fascinating. He climbed Uluru. How epic is that?
How come Anna's not up here?
Oh, she may be sleeping in still too.
No, she's here.
Oh, is she? Hi, Anna.
Good morning, Anna. Good morning, B Dog.
Well, we have about 10 people here now. Should we go ahead and start talking about the Uluru thing? Because I'm very excited to spread such a message that brings more unity among the people of our planet. It's colors dance as you approach. Oh,
and everybody wants to see change. That's how it happens.
Wow. I bet that was just magical. He said the colors dance as you approach the rock. Oh, wow. Yeah, Anna, I agree. I do. And it's one thing if you make a faux pas, but when you keep making a faux pas and you dig that hole a little bit deeper, I think it takes it a little too far. But that's my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to have it, even if it doesn't agree with everyone else's.
And for those who don't know, it's not a peace pipe; it's a prayer pipe.
Yeah, and it's not a token joke either, and the drums are not token jokes either. It was a little upsetting to those who know anything at all about the medicine work to be done with those items.
Exactly. Exactly. But if you study enough, you'll learn. If you don't, stay on the couch.
Well, that's one good way to say it.
Yep.
Man, so I wanna tell these good people about Uluru, and hopefully they'll spread the message. I did drop a link to the video explaining about the summer solstice, like mass meditation prayer event that they're going to be holding, and they've got the time zones laid out in the video. At what point this will be happening, and I would further the invitation for all of us to join the raising of the positivity vibrations of our planet, because I can't think there would be something
Oh, God.
so awe-inspiring, right? I mean, we all do it, in our own way every day, right? But when you do it together as a whole, um, there's something to be said for the energy that gets raised. Last year, they had between 15 and 20 million people around the world that joined in, and there was an actual white flash out of the top of Uluru of energy. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. But anyway, I wanted to bring that up for everybody, so you guys could be aware of it, maybe spread the good word, and by December, it'll be December 22nd on our calendar, because of the solstice occurs at a certain degree, right? So it's not like a solstice is within a certain degree of a certain sign, and they fall around the same time every year, but not at the same time every year. So if you're wondering why the calendar dates seem to change from year to year on solstices, that's why. But I'm excited. I'm super excited about it.
I think I'm gonna pay for that one. That other one. That's a pay-per-view. I don't think I'm gonna pay for that one.
I would. You know what? You have to. We'll do a get together if
I
you
wonder
don't
how we
mind.
I wonder how we
Share
can do
that conference with us.
I wonder how we can do that.
Well,
I
I think we could share the screen in the back. You'd be able to share. All I have to do is give you permission.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If you want to. If you don't want
We'll
to,
do
that's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
But if you
I
don't want
couldn't
to, I would ask you to record it so I can watch it later.
That's a very good idea because I don't like going to the movies alone.
Right on. Me and Jeff will go with you.
That's cool.
Those fellows got some great information, and they pull together wonderful speakers from all over the world. And they are going to be, with all the things that they've found, they're going to be doing more widespread approach about civilizations before our indigenous peoples here in America too. And they've got speakers that are going to be joining their conversation for that. And that's going to be interesting. I'm excited about that. That's going to be a couple days after Christmas. But all this information is in the teach me to play around. All that information is going to be in the video that I have in the link in the description box for this video. And I know it's there because I had my husband do it so that it wouldn't get messed up. I think
Where's Darwin? Is that Australia?
I think so. I think so.
So do Stephen and Evan. They need our support too. Really bad.
Yeah, I think Darwin. Or is Darwin up there in Canada? Because I know that there are a lot of Indigenous peoples in Canada right now that are being chased out of their areas.
Starved out.
It's very disturbing to me. North tip of Australia. All right.
Yeah.
I think Indigenous peoples the world over are probably being hit in ways that none of us can understand because the news is not coming to us about these things. And there's a reason for that. And it's because the Indigenous peoples, the ones that follow their ways, have a way of uniting people. And they have a way of loving and respecting all life here on Mother Earth. So I think that's a big cause of that. And we're not really seeing it, but I know it's happening. And it's disturbing to say the least. Oh, guess what? I was so proud of Raina yesterday. Grandma asked our niece if she would say prayers, and she goes to church and stuff on Sundays, so that's why she had asked our niece to say the prayer for Thanksgiving meal, and she didn't want to, and Raina said, "I will."
Wow.
And she blessed the food, and I was so pleased. I was so proud of her. Like yay. Because she did it in such, it was very well done. And then at the end, Grandma tried to have her say amen. She said, "Oh."
That's cool.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I was very proud of my daughter yesterday, taking the time to be thankful and to bless the food of all the things on the table. It was, so she listens.
Oh yeah, you should be
She
very.
She doesn't one-on-one talk to me about a lot of it anymore, but she listens. So I'm very pleased with that. Hey, K9, good to see you. Tim, nice to see you. I hope you guys' Thanksgivings went well.
Come here, Mother.
Oh
Yeah,
my!
You should be a proud mama. She's very wise.
I'm very proud of her.
She's wise.
Yeah, she's my little shining light. I tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
She really is. She gives me hope for a better future.
Now she's my go-to girl.
I'm telling you, she took the knowledge from that cartoon. She took the knowledge that it offered, and she really, it sank in. You can tell because she's got a really good grasp of all of it, doesn't she?
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yo. Hey, K9.
Oh, Anna, okay. But you're welcome, hon. If you want to come up and let us change your vibe, we'll hug you until you're ready to lift you up. Good morning, Shep.
Canine's been hiding out. Dog
Yeah,
on the run. We got a dog on the run.
Canine's cool. Canine listens.
He's cool.
You may not see Canine in chat for a while, but if you were to say Canine Dogma, he would pop in and say hi.
Yep.
He's a listener.
Yep.
But we love Canine. Canine is wise too. I enjoy talking to him too.
Yeah, he's got to come up here and visit.
And we'll pop the link back in for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I would spread that Uluru thing today because that's been heavy on my mind, and I really, really would love to see that just take off. I would love to see us all join hands and lift that up.
Yep. With that flash, the whole world could change in that instant.
Hey, Devil Dog, right?
In a flash.
You don't know. I mean, there's something about it.
Something.
And every religion teaches it when two or more, right?
Yep.
Even the religions still have that good piece of work in them.
What's going on?
Oh, not much. I'm still waking up, you guys, so I'm not as chatty in the mornings.
Me too, man. I just woke up.
My husband let me sleep late today. Bless his heart, I love him. He let me sleep really late, so I'm still in that 2-hour frame of waking up. I'm about 1 hour in now.
My honey let me sleep all day. She don't care.
Well, I was up in the middle of the night, and the cats were all over me last night, and pillow ended up in my face, and I woke up, I was coughing and choking, and I'd gone outside to get a fresh breath of air, and it was snowing. And then, of course, I got up today. There's no snow on the ground, but it was snowing last night when I got up and went out.
No snow for me. I don't want no snow.
Well, I tried to reach out to Stephen and Evan, and I'm going to try to reach out to them again and see if we can't do, even on our tiny little show here, maybe air it or something with their permission.
Yeah,
I want to get their permission first because you know how the system works. It's still a system. So, but I'd love to talk to those guys. I just love to sit and pick their brains. I mean, this guy was a school teacher for most of his life. And when they started trying to tell him that he wasn't allowed, he was involved in a project to rewrite the history books there in Australia. And as he came across truths and certain things in their history, and they wanted those erased, and he couldn't be a part of it anymore. And really, really phenomenal fellow. I mean, to listen to him speak, it's like listening to an elder. Don't you get that, Robert, when you listen to him?
Yeah. He's been doing this a long time.
Yeah. And it's very interesting to me.
And what do you call that?
There's Badger.
Yeah. He came to a point in his life where he either followed the school rules or the college rules and taught what they wanted to teach, or quit teaching and teach his own stuff.
Yeah.
And he felt it was more important to teach this stuff. And here we are today.
What a wonderful thing for somebody to have the courage to do
discovered
that,
He's discovered he's onto something.
Yeah.
And they know
exactly.
it. That's why they gave him the ultimatum.
Yeah, we got snowstorms coming through. I haven't watched the weather yet, but there are going to be snowstorms coming around. So just make sure you got what you need and plenty of leftovers, and away you heat them bad boys up. It'll all be okay.
Interesting.
Devil Dog didn't sleep last night. He just stayed somewhere hanging.
Watch it.
Tell you, it was an early night last night, but it was still a late morning this morning.
Yeah. I don't know how long we stayed. Did you remember how long we stayed up? I don't remember.
It wasn't even. We got off about an hour or so, hour and a half or so before we normally do, and it was still like. I'm still creaky this morning. Well,
Hey,
I know it's this afternoon.
we got
I
Badger
don't
in
need
the
correct.
house.
Yeah, I saw him down there. I was like, "There's Badger." Well, I know there's a couple other shows going on right now. I think Monty had a show up, and Gigi had a show up. So I figured people were probably going to be over there hanging out too. That's okay. We do the same time every day. People know where to find us if they want to be here.
I like that.
Sorry, you guys. Got to make a cup of coffee. Trust me, you'll enjoy my company more if I have another cup. I haven't seen Pappy. I wonder if he's painting today.
What?
Said I haven't seen Pappy yet. I wonder if he's painting today. Or just maybe taking a day off. Oh, I'll get you some food in a second, honey bun. You poor thing, you.
Maybe Mama Bear took him. Finally, actually did take him to the store.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot that was that day, too. Thanks for the reminder, Robert. This is the one day I avoid going to town at all costs. Yeah,
Bonnie,
I'll
why
fill
don't you
the
come
other
up? Bonnie, come on up.
There's Jeff. Good to see you, Jeff. Is it Jeff or Joff?
I'm gonna Jeff. I just said
Survivors.
Jeff.
Oh,
Bonnie's in chat.
how you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. Hey, Robert. Hey, Heather and Jeff. How are you doing?
Morning, Crystal.
Y'all still on a food coma?
I'm still sleeping.
You in a food coma from yesterday?
Yeah. Last night.
Yeah. Hey, everyone in chat. I love y'all. So what are y'all up to today? Besides you sleeping.
Taking it easy today, but I wanted to talk about this. Anna was making a comment on it about
Yeah, right
the
there.
movement down there at Uluru in Australia that's set for the solstice. It'll be their summer solstice, but our winter solstice.
Yeah. And it's
It's
got
about
it.
race. Go ahead, Robert. Sorry.
It's got it exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said for coming together in the spirit of love.
Yeah, I was on the other chat last night, and there was two people in there from Australia talking about what was going on down there. I think they relaxed the coos thing where they couldn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Hey, Dee.
But they're having a ceremony at Uluru at their sacred rocks down there in Australia.
Yeah, I thought they were talking
On
about that
December
last.
22nd.
Oh, December 22nd.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. There is a link in the description of this video. If you go scroll down below the video and you look in the description box, there's a link to the video that talks about, and it says Stephen and Evan Strong, summer solstice Uluru, and it'll give you all the details, the time, and the date, and all that. And if you watch that video, in the description box of that video, it has the sign up for this mass gathering.
Yeah. Hold on.
Will be interesting.
I'll be right back, y'all.
All right. I think it's going to be wonderful. I can't wait to see what happens this year, because you know it's going to be all that did it last year, all that participated last year plus.
That's what coming together really, really, really means. That is coming together.
Yeah.
And that's what's wrong.
Yeah, we have a lot of sacred sites here in America, too, that the military have taken over. You don't believe me? Ask yourself why the military would take over and make posts and outposts all over the desert. Just ask yourself that. And it's interior land. It's not like it's exterior land. And it wasn't because people hadn't lived there. They chased the tribes out of there. If you go far enough back, you'll realize that the timelines are a lie, as they tell us. Did you want to say hi, my beautiful one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Raina. How you doing?
Good.
I heard you making Mama proud, as usual.
Oh, Bonnie, we know that it's not always intentional. Nope, I'm not saying that it was intentional. What I'm saying is that if somebody didn't know and they didn't take the time to find out, you know, and they want to do this, and then it always comes back to it's all in fun. It was all in fun for who? You know, because there is an amount of, I mean, even Raina has to know things about the character that she's going to dress up as for Halloween. You know, I mean,
Common
I
sense.
don't know.
Common
It's just
sense.
how I feel. And everybody's going to feel different on that. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make anybody think differently. Think how you think. I was just sharing how I think. That's all. I'm gonna mute for a second, Robert. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, I wish they'd have known at least it's not a peace pipe, it's a prayer pipe. Peace pipe's what the white folks called it. But they didn't even know what they were participating with. I got a reading about that too. How was your day yesterday, Crystal? Crystal, did you have turkey yesterday?
Yes, sir, I sure did.
That's cool.
I'm trying to clean up my dog's mess right now, so I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm just going to drop off and I'll come back in a minute, Heather, so I don't take up a place.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to leave you hanging. Hey, Farmer Son, good to see you.
Farmer Son in the house. Yeah.
There you go, Chuck.
Chuck's all over the place last night.
Chuck's had a couple days of turkey coma. He said he's been eating Thanksgiving since Wednesday. I know he was cooking enough. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving there, Badger.
Buffalo 113.
Easter egg hunt. I hear pages.
Yeah, I got a piece on the so-called peace pipe. In Lakota tradition, it was the white buffalo calf woman who brought the sacred pipe to the people and taught them to pray. The bowl of the pipe was the receptacle that held tobacco and herb with male and female medicine. The stem of the pipe represented the male entering the female and seeding life. And the coming together of male and female, the connection to the divine energy of the Great Spirit was made. As the pipe was loaded with tobacco, every family in nature was asked to enter into the pipe and share its medicine as prayer and praise to the heavens. The smoke was considered to be visual prayer and was very sacred and cleansing. All animals are sacred, but in many traditions, white buffalo is the most sacred. The appearance of white buffalo is a sign that prayers are being heard, that the sacred pipe is being honored, and that promises of prophecy are being fulfilled. White buffalo signals a time of abundance and plenty.
Ooh. Is there any word of a white buffalo birth lately?
I don't know. I think in the 80s there was.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think in the 80s there was.
Hey there, Badger brother.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Chuck. Hey, Robert.
The guy outside Circle K tried to share his pipe with me, and I don't think it was very sacred, though.
To use buffalo medicine is to smoke the pipe in a sacred manner and to give praise for the richest of life to be shared with all races, all creatures, all nations, and all life. It means smoking for others so their needs may be met, praying for the good of all things in harmony, and accepting the great mystery as part of the harmony.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that it wasn't finished. That's beautiful.
I'm sorry about breaking you up, Rob.
I'm just finding different things in this reading here. Buffalo medicine is a sign that you achieve nothing without the aid of the Great Spirit, and that you must be humble enough to ask for that assistance and then be grateful for what you receive. It's a prayer pipe,
Yeah,
not a peace pipe. Prayer for everyone, with everything. For
Isn't
those
that
who don't,
beautiful?
I just want to set the record straight.
Well, I appreciate that because it is important for people to learn.
Right.
You know, part of how we love and respect each other is that we don't intentionally degrade each other's beliefs, right? Like, isn't that the biggest part?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I believe everybody should believe whatever they want as long as they don't try to force the belief on anybody else.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we were talking a bit about how people use the excuse that it's all in fun, and all in fun is a lot of times very disrespectful because there's no knowledge and no knowledge has been sought about what they're doing all in fun, right? And so the only person having fun is the person doing the. It was just a thought. It was I don't know, I just think we've come to the place where information is so readily available on just about any topic you want that it's literally the click of a button to learn something about something.
Yep. Exactly.
Hey Jenny, good to see you, hon. And whether the intent was bad or not, we don't let like grown adults trip somebody and make them fall flat on their face and say, "Oops, it was just for fun," you know. But we'll let grade school kids get away with it. You know, I don't know. There's a floating boundary, I guess, between that stuff. You know.
It hasn't sunk into me yet. I know how Anna feels.
Hey, Jenny.
There she is.
Hi.
Sweet girl. There's sweet
Second
grass.
daughter.
Okay, people. There's sweet grass and there's sweet Anna.
Hi.
Now you can't let that dig at you though. You know that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I realize that. I just wanted to come up and say my respect for Mike that has been gained over the last year or so watching him. Just it took a deep dive off a cliff.
I hear you.
It brought back things from my childhood of being picked on as a Native American and not understanding the difference because I did not grow up on a reservation. I grew up outside of the reservation and it really hurt me bad when I saw Mike like that. I don't want to come up here crying or have people feeling sorry, but it
We're
just
giving you a hug, girl. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, things look like a turkey's anus stretched around his head.
Exactly.
May I propose something to you?
Yeah, but could I finish talking first?
Sure. I'm sorry, honey.
It's all right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I didn't think it would affect me this way, but it really hurt to the core. I don't choose the path that I came into. I did not choose to be a Native American. I did not choose to be white. I am what I am. I struggled because that knowledge has been taken away, and I've tried to learn. And some of the learning was the first teachings are, and the first teaching is respect. And I give that respect to people until I'm disrespected, and I just feel so totally disrespected. You know, there's people that are comical, and I imagine that as much as I've come to know Mike, he did not intend to disrespect, that he just doesn't realize that he did. But it caused a separation and a little division for me, where he's claiming to be someone that wants people to come together. It pushed me away. I don't have the same respect now for him that I did before.
Any Native American in him?
If there's Native American in him, he dissed. I mean, he needed to show a little bit of knowledge of the tools he was using. He went up there dressed with the garments of something honorable, something that's respected, and was wearing all of the respectable things that a Native American puts on in ceremony, and reflects what he is, you know. And then he smoked of the prayer pipe. It was cute and funny, if you can look at it as cute and funny what was going on. It was meant to be an enjoyable thing. I understand in a sense what he was doing, but it wasn't like he was an uneducated kid doing it. So, you know, I'm grieving a little bit because I feel like I've lost what I would consider part of a family member, like a slap in the face, basically. Whether it was intended that way or not, that's the way it feels. That's the grieving that I'm going to do, because I've unsubscribed from him. I don't want to look at him right now because I can't look at him other than him being a jokester.
The feeling is because you lost respect for somebody you had respect for.
Exactly.
It wasn't dignified, so.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm not coming looking for sympathy or anything else, but one thing I'm going to point out is that the Native American people were in mass numbers here. We are now the minority. We are the least of any race in this country. And I feel very disrespected. And I don't feel that I don't feel that I need to beg for respect. You either respect or you don't. And I think that everybody should respect everybody.
Remember too, Anna, though, about like a quarter of the population has got some Indian in them.
Exactly.
Some sort.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, listen, when it comes down to it, we are all related.
Yeah.
Right? And I understand your pain, because it is hard to grow up in between. And it's even harder to be a go-between. But I think that's kind of what we are now, you know? And so, saying that, I'm going to say this. There's going to come a place in the time where instead of feeling the pain, you're going to ask the question of, why is this making me feel the pain? What is it that I need to go through to alleviate the pain from the past so that I don't have to keep revisiting it when things like this happen, because things like this actually happen quite frequently. And we know they do, from people who choose not to understand or just have no understanding. Um, whether they mean harm or not, I don't think any harm was meant or intended. That's just because it wasn't intended does not mean it doesn't get done, and I understand that. So I'm not defending anybody here. All I'm saying is there comes a time where we have to ask ourselves why this is bringing up pain for us, right? So that we can work through that and overcome it.
Debbie down.
I think maybe
You jump up there and
that's a little bit of why different people are feeling different ways about it, and why we are looking at it from certain perspectives, right? Because it's triggered something within us that we thought we'd already dealt with, but the pain comes back up, and that lets us know that there's something there yet that we need to understand.
And I respect you coming up here, Anna.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks, everybody. I was
love
gonna
you,
stay out of it. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I guess I wanted to put out there that there are people that can stand up to it and be tough to it. I've done it a lot, but I held Mike in a higher regard.
Yes, I
So
understand
it was a little more emotional because I had a connection. I thought I had a connection with him as far as the way he conducts himself. I put him in a little higher regard than I guess I was truly affected by it.
and it's not easy to lose regard for someone that you feel a connection with. It is not easy to do that. It's not easy. There's an actual grieving process there once you've been, or even feel connected. Some of these people that we watch and listen to on YouTube, and we feel like we're part of their family, and we participate in their chat groups, or we just sit and listen, but we still feel welcome,
Yep, and
And
this
it's
is
hard.
I come
very
to
hard.
realize it is. I'm not trying to interrupt. I come to realize that this is part of our programming, using these devices to connect from distances and stuff. It's the programming of the future so that people are not community, that everybody is separate, and we're feeling closer through devices rather than being closer and in groups. It's a tool of division in the sense that we think that we're mentally close, emotionally close. In fact we are, but we're not. You know what I mean?
A lot of people have changed since they've gotten popular with the stuff. It's either popularity or corruption or something, but it's either changed them or brought the true them out.
Well, I'm doing this. I'm just gonna quickly, before I go out of your chat, I'll just leave you guys with this. These are the 7 Ojibwe teachings. The buffalo is respect. That's respect for others, respect for yourself. Above all things, you must have respect. 2 is the eagle. The eagle represents love. It's essential for the spirit and the essence of your being. The bear is courage. Walk and teach courage. Live with courage. Be courage. The fourth is Savvy. Bigfoot. This is honesty. You cannot have healthy life without honesty, being honest with yourself, being honest with others, and having others be honest with you. Wisdom. Wisdom is what we gain through life. That is the beaver. This is how we construct our life, is through wisdom. The wolf is humility. We must all be humble. Humility is the base that brings you to truth, that brings you love, courage, honesty, and wisdom. Truth is the turtle. Truth is the final teaching, the seventh teaching of the Ojibwe people. With that, I'll leave you guys. If you want to discuss
Last
that.
word.
For a moment.
Can I tell you one last thing? Don't get offended by something other people do unless if you really know he meant malice doing it. But if it was something innocent, don't let it eat at you.
I'm gonna try not to let it eat at me. It just affected me. I mean, I watched it this morning and I was puzzled by it. I'm going through some emotions. I have post-traumatic stress syndrome. That's my own condition, but I was insulted. I was insulted. You know, it brought me back to that little Native American girl wandering the streets trying to make friends like a little child does, and meeting kids that were saying, "You're nothing but a stinky little greasy-haired little Indian welfare child," when I was not. I was very clean. I was well clothed. We weren't on welfare. That was the stigma, or the way that those kids were taught to be little bullies and racial, and it was reinforced by their parents as, "Get the hell out of our yard, you fucking little, you know."
Hey, Shane.
Nothing. So that's
Stay
where I'm
up here
gonna
with
leave.
us for a minute. Happy
Yeah.
just showed up.
And you know this,
and
this is a place
Go
of
ahead, Rob.
healing, and I hope this helps you heal a little bit.
Hey, everyone on panel. I love y'all.
Much love.
I'd rather go in the
I'm
chat
happy.
right now, but I'll be listening, okay? I love you
Okay,
all.
honey.
But
you.
it was
Love you.
just food for
We do
thought for
understand.
anyone that's listening, to try to just be a little more realizing that some people are a little more sensitive at this point.
And get informed. Good morning, Pappy.
Well,
Whiny baby.
hello.
Hi, Pappy.
And so it is with the way of the world. As we've spoken of before, things are the way they are, and things will never be the way they need to be until everybody awakens fully to what they themselves are personally. And sometimes, that takes a good look at the mirror to see it. Sometimes it takes a good friend that has good intent to put a boot in your ass. Sometimes it takes taking a pill of truth before that's awakened to see that words have power, actions have power, and that power goes out and creates an energy, and that energy takes on a life. And that energy transcribes time. So injustices that were done in the past and carried along the timeline can be brought back and be very real because they were never dealt with in the first place. And I know the subject that you're talking on because we spoke of it privately last night in another location. I also have some really mixed feelings about it. Now, coming from the campfire side as an elder, okay, I saw both insensitivity, ignorance, but I also saw conditioning by the dominant culture. It is so difficult not to repeat out what you've been brought up with, even unintentionally or even unknowingly. And it takes a conscious effort to be aware of our thoughts. And if you're aware of your thoughts, you need to be aware of where your thoughts are coming from. That's why I say they need to first be filtered through that that center of the heart, because the heart knows love, the heart knows respect, the heart knows real information and knowledge. So, the thing as an elder that I'll also do now is, rather than passing any judgment, I sit back to find out whether or not there's been personal discovery on the part of the individual, and I hear personal discovery on the part of lots of individuals that are affected by this on all sides, and that's encouraging. Okay, because it's necessary to go through that healing process within, in order to restructure yourself during this time of tear apart and bring back together. That's the time that we're in. Okay, but I will make the point that there were some signposts that were missed, with the things that were done, even though it might have been done in lightheartedness and stuff. The month is significant because it honors the indigenous peoples, and by extension, even the indigenous peoples of the other continents that have gone through some of the same struggles that many of my ancestors on my mother's side have gone through. Okay, so don't pass judgment too quick. Wait to see what happens. But at the same time, you need to show and you need to express where you are on this. Because if you don't put the words out, you don't put your feelings out. If you don't put your feelings out, they don't know how you're feeling. They don't know the true you. So it's important for you to bring that courage in. Excuse me while I correct my dogs.
Yeah, and I would like to address something real quick, okay? This show today and every day is never scripted. It's never meant to talk about anyone. There are people that have certain feelings about a show from last night, which we are all familiar with, which no one has spoke, that had feelings concerning this. All right. This actually was, I wanted to talk about the summer solstice at Uluru, but things tend to take the path that they need to take for healing on a bigger level. I'm sorry you feel that way, Tracy. I truly am,
Really?
because of people expressing their opinions. Listen, this isn't about him specifically. So this is about people that do things in a certain way, and that's all it was. People expressing their feelings about something that concerns them, that relates to all of us. So that's all. That this show was never intended for that, but it has showed up. So we are going to talk about it and try to offer some type of healing to our friends and family that are feeling some kind of way.
Yeah, right. If I'm going to do a show, I'm going to learn exactly what I'm doing a show about. I don't care if it's about munchkins. I don't care if it's about ants.
I'm sorry if this is upsetting you guys out there. I really am. But
That's
I'm not
protocol.
going to tell somebody they can't discuss their feelings on something. And that way we may better offer them the type of love or healing that they may need. Okay. I can't be responsible for everyone's feelings. I'm here to try to help. That's all I've ever tried to do.
Everybody has feelings, but everybody can't be responsible for everybody's feelings, and it's nobody's fault just to bring something up innocently. So don't take it to heart if I knew that.
If you're looking at this show as judgmental, that's not at all what's been going on, and I beg you to go back to the beginning and start there, because that's usually how you get a fuller scope of things that are going on. Because we're not sitting up here in judgment of anyone, and I don't like that accusation.
Really?
Just do like I did with it when I got
We love you too, Ray.
burnt the way I got burned over there. I just left.
That's fine, hon.
Everybody thought it was funny to laugh at me because I asked a question and then talk down to me because I talk in caps. I don't need them. And that's really the first time I've brought it up. And Tracy, you were the one that laughed at me because I offered to help.
Yeah.
So you can take that one-sided judgmental shit and go back over there, or you can ban me off of here, but I don't care. Don't be one-sided about it.
Really. Because he's your boss. Take my wrench from what? Get my wrench. You take my wrench, Tracy.
I don't
All right,
owe
guys.
you nothing.
We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop right there because this is not. I understand we all have some really big feelings about a lot of things that have happened. Okay.
Yeah,
Best
sorry to
advice
bring it
I've
to your
heard yet
show.
today. The best advice I've heard yet today is to try to see it through the eyes of an elder. And when they have to hear disagreement, I'm sure it's not easy, right? Because you love every member of that tribe, but you still have to hear a disagreement fairly. And I imagine that is probably a very difficult thing to do. And all I'm asking anyone to do is listen. Right? So I'm not, if you don't want a wrench, that's fine. It is done as you wish. I still love and respect you. Honestly, if you think that because you came in the middle of a conversation and you didn't listen to the whole of the conversation, I implore you to go listen to the whole of the conversation. Okay? For anybody that's just swung by and dropped into this, I implore you to listen to the whole of the conversation.
Well, I would like to offer something before I jump down because my dogs are not cooperating too well today. Okay, and I'd like to offer up this prayer for everybody here. Okay, and the name of this prayer is called All My Relations. In the time before the times that we are in, all things were created in the heavens and the earth. The two-leggeds, the four-leggeds, the swimmers, the wingeds, the crawlers, the green growing things, the wind that we breathe, the water we drink, the earth we stand upon, and the star nations all over the universe are all related to each other. In each of these things, a spirit was placed that all creation may be in good relationship with each other. In us, the two-leggeds, is the ability to use our awareness to be the voice that calls for harmony and happiness within and for all of creation. As we look across the face of the earth, we can see the faces of all the peoples who are part of the Earth Mother, and we see that the faces of all these people are really the same, even though they walk a different path. Take the good wishes of all these people and their desires for goodness for all of creation, and hear the words of their hearts. Carry these words on sacred smoke to the four directions, so these people may be in good relation with all creation and walk a good road of happiness and harmony. O great mystery of many names, you have always been, and there is no other that we send our voices to. Help us be in good relations with each other on the good road during our earth walk, so that when we take off our earth robe and stand before you once again, you may see that we have honored your creation and the blessing you have given us. Mitakuye Oyasin, we are all related.
Taco Oyasin.
Thank you, Pappy, for
Hey,
sharing
Victor.
that with us.
Thank you, Pappy. You had to grab them
And you're
strings of them
welcome to
balloons
stay
again.
if you like.
Thank you for grabbing them strings of the balloons again.
Okay.
Love you.
Robert, we should get him a coffee mug that says world's best balloon weight.
Yo. Very
See?
interesting.
that prayer was super appropriate and perfect timing, because I feel all that swirling energy kind of slow itself back down again.
Matakue Oyasin.
Yep. And if you're trying to get me to butcher it again, I'm still practicing.
I'm practicing too.
I didn't like seeing all that stirred up in the chat. That upset me.
Exactly, me too.
It really did. Because I feel like, you know, we do try to offer open conversation here, and we've never planned the way our conversation is going to go.
No.
Ever. But, you know,
When
we
you jump-
offer right this platform for you guys to talk about how you're feeling, and that's fine. You're allowed to express how you're allowed to feel how you feel. But if I can offer some insight and maybe some help, great. You know, that's all that's about. I just want to help people. Isn't that what we all want to do? Isn't that why
Yep.
we all come together to help each other?
You don't pop in the middle with an attitude.
No, I don't think if somebody's got a problem, somebody asks why it is. If somebody just because somebody brings somebody's name up as what had happened, and it's not like you got to ask permission to tell somebody what's wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I've been accused of talking about people before, and had anybody gone back and taken the time, they would have realized that that's not at all what happened. But
Right.
it was a very painful experience for me, and I had to reevaluate a lot of things in my life because of the painful experience for me. Right. So I did. I reached out to people I knew could help me figure that out, and I did, and I let it go, and I was better for it. And I had a hard lesson that I still had to learn, was that, you know, you can be very, very close to people and still be let down by people, because
lot
they're
of-
people, and we all have our failings, right? We all have our gifts, and we all have our failings.
The main thing a lot of people don't realize is, as far as respect, main thing is when you treat somebody decent is your own self-respect, being decent towards somebody. It ain't really respecting them. It's having enough respect for yourself to be a decent person. That's what I keep forgetting. It's like respect may be able to be earned, but the main thing is having your own self-respect and dignity to treat people well.
Yeah. Well, and I wasn't trying to treat anybody bad, you know.
You weren't.
No, well, and no, but I don't think anybody else. I don't think there was any intended malice, but it still brought up very strong feelings in a lot of people. Okay, and that happens.
You know my
But you know
history.
what? Liz said it. Liz just said it. Last I knew, we were all of the same spirit.
Yeah. You know my history. I've talked to you guys about it with what happened with different things.
And in a time where we know they want our division, our spiritual division, it worries me that there are other energies
At bay.
that may be driving the strength of those feelings within people who are going to have those feelings, right? And if you're not aware of things like that, I don't know. I hate to see this. I hate to see division, and I'm one of those people that, and it's not fence sitting at all. I know my mind. I don't have to sit on a fence because I don't know my mind. I know my mind. Yes, I do feel that it is offensive when people do things
To harm other people's spirit.
in fun, right? But without knowledge. And I find that offensive in a lot of areas. Okay, so I'm not just talking about one thing here. I'm talking about, but at the same time, I can look and say that person doesn't know, and I don't sense any malice or any painful intent. So I can see with both of those perspectives, and so it offers me a little bit more of a balanced, and I've always been the person, well, I haven't always been that person, but since I became the person who asked myself, why is this causing me pain? Because it's not causing everyone pain. So there's something in me that needs healing, that needs revisited, that needs looked at, so that this cannot trigger pain again.
Yeah, Pappy, and a lot of it's people do stuff out of ignorance, and I don't mean that as an insult. Ignorance you can learn from that. If I said it was out of stupidity, that's calling somebody stupid. So a lot of them don't know what they're doing, but there's some that do.
And it's not an easy thing. But and Pappy, I agree. A lot of this stuff it is better exposed in a sacred space.
A lot of people don't have our point of view, though, either.
And that's okay. Listen, if we all saw the world through the same set of eyes, it would be the most boring world I could even imagine. I mean, that to me sounds like robot manufacturing, I don't know. I can see both sides. And sometimes that's a difficult place to be. And other times it's the best place to be, because you're seeing with a better understanding of more than one. You're not just seeing out of your perspective, because your perspective is and always will be limited to your exposure to things in life, your exposure to different things, and whether or not you choose to be exposed to those things. So your perception is very limited to your way of thinking, your experiences, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But when you can step outside of your perspective and try to see the situation through another's eyes, it's a true gift, and it's a true, honestly, I feel like that's one of the best gifts Creator ever gave me, was trying to step into another person's moccasins and see through their eyes to understand their perspective a little bit better, because it's helped me to heal the things within myself. Um, I don't know. We're all going to be going through crossroads, and we're all going to be going through decision making, and it's part of the nature of this raising vibration that we all are experiencing, right? It's part of this energy that we're all experiencing, and some of it's chaotic, some of it's a roller coaster, some of it is floating down a nice peaceful river. But we are all going to go through these different changes at different times and in different ways. So just take my hand, okay, and hold on, because not one of us has to go through this alone, and we don't have to be in the same place to experience it together. That's the other thing. We can all be on different parts of the path, but hands span a long time. So I'll reach out my hand, and you guys reach out your hands, and we can walk this path together. We don't all have to be in the same space at the same time.
One thing about it, hell, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, getting old, bud.
I ain't even in the kitchen this time. Wow.
So how about that Uluru, guys?
How about that?
I remember what I was going to say.
About that. Okay.
No matter what, you take 5 people and put them together, everybody's not going to agree with each other. So that's the main thing. Everybody has to think of everybody's individual, and you got to, if everybody's trying to please everybody, it's not going to work. So,
And without dark, there is no light.
you know,
And I'm not trying to negate nobody's feelings either, you guys.
no.
Please understand that. I'm really not. And I'm not saying that your feelings aren't valid. To you, they are very valid. You know, for each of us, we're gonna know things different ways. We're gonna feel things different ways, and we're gonna look at things those different ways, and that's okay. But isn't that part of the process of how we join together? That we get to help each other through these things, even if it's not conventional, right?
One way to look at it too, you think about no matter how organized you have stuff, look at all the chaos it took to keep it organized.
Yeah, right. Everything was in piles before it was in drawers.
And once it's in drawers, you got to figure out which drawer it's in. And before it was in one pile, you could just look for it. I guess my main thing is I get in with it and I get kind of passionate in the feelings and brings like Badger talk again about I got to kick a little dirt around before I start checking myself.
Well, you know, people have different things that they go through, and people don't know what triggers another person, especially about what they've had to go through in their past. They don't do it intentionally, but everybody don't know exactly what a person that comes up on panel been through unless they tell you what they've been through. So what might trigger me might not trigger you. Hello?
We're all here. Everybody's thinking, probably thinking whether they want to say something or to start another ball.
Did I
Robert,
say something wrong?
No.
Not at all. No, it's just come to the point where I think we're all just processing now everything that we've just gone through. You know, how you have to take a minute and breathe and process.
Being choicey about words so don't stir another pot.
Yeah.
And that's not usually me. I'm usually, okay, this is it.
Well, you know, Robert, can I ask you if you would consider pulling a card to maybe show us a type of medicine that could
Let's see what we got here.
that could help us go forward on this one, you know,
Unless
what we're all going through.
Unless Pappy can guide me to what he thinks we need to be here. Pappy, do you know what we should hear?
One thing is everybody has a different opinion. And if you want your own opinion validated, you should validate others. But
That's actually pretty insightful, Chuck. I'm just going to start calling you Badger because it just seems like it's your name.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, no, you're not lost. It's just been a very eventful and emotional hour and a half.
It's been a hands in the air kind of day.
I've become Amish. My name is You Screw Tube.
You're fine. You're fine. Glad you're here.
My father's name was Ira.
Keep your spirits high.
I used to get Amish jokes all the time when I was a kid.
Oh.
The reason I haven't said much is I just wanted to step back and be neutral because I love both sides.
Well, that's
And
what I'm
that's-
saying. All right. To be able to see things through different perspectives, different lenses, is rather useful, and it helps you to separate yourself from your own set of perceptions that you have gathered over your lifetime, right? Because we're all going to see things in the way that it affects us, right?
Yes.
So when you can step outside yourself and try to see through another's lens, another's perspective, it's very, very it's very enlightening to be able to do that, or even to in the learning of that, because it gives you a wider view of the world, and it gives you a little bit better understanding. And you guys remember how I said, what would your superpower be? And I said, I would pick understanding. I would want understanding above all things. That would be what I would choose for my superpower. And I would choose that because in understanding, you would have an understanding of languages. You would have an understanding of messages that are unspoken. And we all know we do that, right? We speak, and there is what comes out of our mouth, and then there's the emotion behind it, and then there's the mental processes behind it. And understanding is I see you. If I can understand fully where you're coming from, could that not enlighten me as to a way to help you get further along your path? Right? So if I try to see through your eyes with your perception, and I'll never have the whole of it because it's your life, not mine, right? I can only go from what I know and what I sense and what I think I understand from you. And that will help me to better see your point of view, though. And the more understanding you have, the less misunderstandings you have. You see, misunderstandings lead to division.
Here's one of my favorite things when you get done.
Go ahead.
Not because of who they are or what they do in return, but because of who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of deep.
Robert, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Did you catch the number that Patty gave, Robert? Hello, Robert. You're muted.
He might have stepped away.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Nope, that's cool. That's cool.
Pappy.
Did you
I don't
see
know
the
about
number?
that. Pappy, I'm going to find that camera somewhere you put here. Where I'm flipping through the cards and getting them ready to shuffle because I couldn't make up my mind. What flips up is Fox. Fox is camouflage, number 25. Fox, where are you?
What, Pappy? You are good. You are good.
Fox, where are you? Under the ferns, becoming the forest so I can learn? Are you watching invisible to me? Trying to teach me to become a tree? Why fox has many allies in the woodlands, including the foliage, which offers protection and much medicine. Foxes seemingly able to vanish amongst the lush undergrowth of the forest. This flora in Fox's Alley, the ability to meld into one's surrounding and be unnoticed is a powerful gift when one is observing the activities of others. Another natural gift of fox is the ability to adapt to winter by changing color, like the chameleon. Its rich white winter coat allows fox to blend into the snow when the leaves are no longer lingering. Fox medicine involves adaptability, cunning, observation, integration, and swiftness of thought and action. These traits may include quick decisiveness and sure-footedness in the physical world. Fox's ability to be unseen allows it to be the protector of the family unit. If danger arises, Fox is Johnny on the spot. Nea Waya, Great Spirit in the Choctaw tongue, honors Fox with the duty of keeping the family together and safe. This is accomplished through Fox's ability to observe undetected without making others self-conscious. Fox is always concerned with the safety of family members and is excellent talisman for those traveling far afield. If Fox has chosen to share its medicine with you, it is a sign that you are to become like the wind, which is unseen yet is able to weave into and through any location or situation. It would be wise to observe the acts of others rather than their words at this time. Use your cunning nature in a positive way. Keep silent about who and what and why you are observing. In learning the art of camouflage, you will need to test your abilities to pull this off. One test or exercise that can be helpful to you is deciding to be invisible. In doing this exercise, you might try to visualize your body as part of your surroundings, full of colors of the location that you're in. See yourself in the mind's eye, moving with stealth and grace, unheeded by others. If you do it right, it works. You can leave a party unnoticed or become an unobtrusive as a piece of furniture, watching the developing drama of the subjects you are studying. While learning from Fox, you might also gain confidence in your ability to know instantly what will happen next. After observing for a while, you will become aware of a certain predictability in given situations and be able to quickly make your move. Fox medicine teaches the art of oneness through its understanding of camouflage. This applies on all levels, from rocks to God. With Fox medicine, you are being asked to see all types of uses for oneness, much like the clowns of a rodeo. Fox can keep the raging bull from stampeding a friend or family member. Fox can use silly tactics as a brilliant camouflage move. No one could guess the sly power behind such ingenious maneuvers.
Wow.
He's got a camera here somewhere.
Always good timing.
Fox is always concerned with the safety of family members, and it's an excellent talisman for those who are traveling a far field.
Yes. And what is Thanksgiving all about? It's about family,
Together.
it's about community. Yeah, together.
Oneness.
I don't know if you guys seen what I put in comments or not.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
It's off topic, but can you be on panel and also chat in the chat?
Chuck can because he's got a computer.
Well, I've got a computer.
Yeah, you just have to have your YouTube open but muted.
Oh,
When you
okay.
then you can chat in chat. But when you're on here, only the host can
Chat from the back
chat
room.
from the back room.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was beautiful, Chuck.
That was awesome, Chuck.
Respect is a place in the sun where virtue thrives. You want to think something?
And right here. Thought I heard it.
Pappy.
Hey, Pappy. Did
Well,
you have
hello,
a good
Crystal.
Thanksgiving?
Well, yeah, pretty doggone nice. Yeah.
So you're gonna tell me where that camera's hidden or not? That's
got-
something.
Got one of them all spectrum cameras out there for you, Robert.
It's got to
funny,
be
you got-
above me. 'cause
You
saw
got the
card.
remote control. I don't.
It must be above me because you saw the card. That card just popped out. I was like, "What's Fox doing over here?" I was looking at Turtle too for a minute. But Fox was the first one out. That's funny.
Well, maybe I got to check over here for the camera that you put here.
Oh, you pull it too?
Yeah.
Whoa.
You have eyes on you, Pappy.
If you got a newer TV, you got eyes on you anyway.
Yeah, I don't care. I was
That's
in the
good.
chat room last night, and they were talking about the people could see through your camera and stuff, and I shot a bird, and I said, "Come get me, come get me, shot." What you gonna do to me? Kill me, and then I'll just go home. I went in the inn anyway.
Well, who knows? Maybe Creator is playing a big game of Jumanji. You know, you lose one life and poof, you're back in it again. Yep.
Lord, I hope I come back with somebody. It ain't me. Give me a brain this time, God.
Yep. Who knows? All those unanswered questions. We got enough questions to get through in this life, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's the questions that keeps it excitable if we were looking for answers, you know. But
Yeah, I have heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I wished I was younger again." I said, "Oh, I wished I was too, but I want to know. I want to have the knowledge I had back then, not to do the same mistakes."
Well, you're putting limitations on it, though, Crystal. You know, that's the problem. We put all those wishes and prayers and everything out there with all these limitations on it. Creator can't do a darn thing with it. We're just too stubborn-headed.
Yep.
Yep.
And he knows it, and he forgives us for it. He knows we're only human. As long as you try to strive to be the way he would like you to be, is what you got to strive for.
Hi, Lisa.
For everybody I didn't get a chance to say hi to because I jumped in here so late. Hello, everybody in the chat, and hello, everybody in the panel. And just wanted to apologize for jumping in late, but I went back and took a nap, and it felt pretty good.
Good.
Wonderful.
Did you get your shopping done?
Heck, no, I'm going nowhere near stores today. Bad enough I had to drive the wife up to get her lab work done. But what was nice about that is most of the medical facilities seem to be pretty light this morning. So
Yeah.
that was an in and out process there.
It's called Black Friday. Everybody's there.
Yeah. Well, at the stores, they can be at the stores.
Well, I called this morning to get a couple of my prescriptions, and even my dang pharmacy is closed.
Yep.
So I want to talk a little about that Fox medicine. Sorry to interrupt. I didn't mean to.
Fox medicine disappearing in plain sight.
Oh, it's okay. What'd you say?
Said I wanted to talk a
didn't
little
hear
bit
what
more
you
about
said.
that Fox medicine.
Hi, Dorinda.
Oh, Fox medicine.
I think it's kind of important for today. Seems to have found its place among us.
Yep.
Well, the one thing that Robert didn't read about that is that, and I always talk to you, everybody, about this all the time. Everything is not as it seems when you're looking at it. Just there are two sides to everything. There are two sides to the spider web. Okay. Robert did not read Fox in the Contrary.
Right.
Okay. And there are some people that unknowingly are very adept at Fox medicine, but they do it in the contrary. Okay. Sometimes the contrary can just be out of plain not knowing or not realizing that you're utilizing it in that way. And it's like learning to do something that you've done all your life one way, and all of a sudden discovering that there's another way to do it that is even easier, or perhaps more enlightening, or something of this nature that comes out with even better results. Well, that's where sometimes us old fellows can learn from the younger people. Some of us that are not well, let's put it this way. Some of the people that are out there that are paper trained, and they have all these papers that they hang up on their walls and stuff. Sometimes they can get great flashes of brilliance on how to tackle a problem by somebody that was never paper trained, if you catch my
Yes.
drift, because they've learned to do things in a different way. They've learned not to complicate their lives by all the stuff that the paper told them was necessary. Okay. And that's kind of the way our lives are. We complicate the heck out of our lives. It is not that complicated. If you go back to the core simplicity and work from there, then the rest of the stuff becomes stuff for the world that you're going to leave behind anyways.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest faults is that I get pretty offensive towards other people in defense of somebody else.
Want me to read the contrary?
Oh, I didn't bring it up for you to do that. Of course I do.
Okay. Good.
He didn't say want you to do it, but do it.
Well, I grabbed it because I know. Yeah. I know his unspoken
I
words.
figured you were standing on your head. You probably read that anyways, Robert.
I'm over here next to him, Pappy. You want me to poke him? Here, I'll poke him.
All right. Contrary. Watch out for Wily Fox. If this card has appeared reversed, someone may be watching you and trying to figure out your next move. If you look deeper, however, it may be that you are watching yourself to prove to yourself that you exist. If you have become a wallflower,
Robert. Oh, not you, the other one. Or Victor. Sorry.
let me see here. Lost the space. Watch out for Wily Fox. If this card appeared reversed, someone may be watching you and trying to figure out your next move. If you look deeper, however, it may be that you are watching yourself to prove to yourself that you exist. If you have become a wallflower to the point of disappearing, you may need to decide that you are worth noticing. Contrary Fox is as foolish as it is cunning, and you may be fooled yourself into believing that your low esteem is due to your being born plain or having an ordinary life. This is camouflage of a different sort, in that you have camouflaged your true desire to experience life with friends, with joy, with purpose. In any case, you are put on notice to be aware of apathy and the self-induced boredom. You may have to dig deeply to find what excites you enough to scurry across the wasteland of your dulled senses and live. Contrary Fox may be also telling you that you have become too invisible. In climbing to a place of recognition, oftentimes the envy or jealousy of others is thrown in your face. If you are feeling attacked, withdraw. It may be time to assume the attitude of the hermit and deck yourself in the cloak of invisibility. To right contrary, Fox, in this situation, call on Armadillo and name your boundaries. Then call on your family's protector to show you the art of camouflage. Once out of line of attack, you can assume the role of being your foxy self. Become Fox and feel the joy of knowing the playground of your life. You may just find the chicken coop full of intriguing morsels of delight. Thank you, Pappy.
Now that contrary was actually meant for one person that is on the channel today. I think that's my personal feelings. Okay. However, there are some others on there that are going to resonate with that as well. Okay, I will remind you that Fox has a cousin that is also relevant. What do you think the cousin is, Robert?
Coyote.
Yipper, you got her.
Yep. Coyote.
Okay, so there's a significance in the family teachings as far as the spirits go and the way they can manifest themselves. Okay. Fox medicine, just like any other type of medicine, when we talk about medicine, we're talking about the attributes of an animal and their habits and stuff like that have been observed, that people have applied to their lives and changed who they are or understood basically how they're operating. Okay. But like anything, it is the intent of the user on how they use it and how they utilize those techniques, how they utilize those powers that they're pulling within themselves. That makes all of the difference in the results.
Hey, everyone in chat, I love you.
I love people in chat.
Oh, by the way, I got some good news.
Good. What do you got?
I got to run outside to meet my cousin. When I get back, I'll tell you. Oh, I'll just tell you real quick. My son proposed to his girlfriend, and they're getting married.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Congratulations to him.
I hope they have happy life.
Cool. Next step is grandma.
Sometimes that step occurs first, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Dusty, how you doing? Dusty's in the house.
I see Tim come in too. Tim Freeney.
Yep.
Hey, Tim.
Nathan's with us today too. I haven't seen him in a while. It's nice to see you, Nathan. I haven't forgotten. I am still working on pieces.
Hello, deplorable.
Hey, there's that hen. Ooh, she's painting today. I think everybody's painting today.
Yeah, I'll probably have to get back to that myself.
Yeah. I think Jeff's going to paint, do the top coat. I'm so excited.
Any more than paint the ladies' room, you got to paint the urinal too.
That's like checking the water in a radiator on a Volkswagen.
Yep.
Hi, Jenny. It's good to see you.
Hi, Jenny.
That's some. There was something really powerful in both those messages to me just now. Did you know that? You probably did know that, Pappy and Robert. Every time we read about those, the medicine in those cards, there's something different that pertains to.
Have a good day, Lisa.
Whatever, I'm going through currently is the part that resonates the most. And I listen to the whole thing, and there's always something new every time. It never ceases. I love that.
be right back.
Well, in all things, in all relationships, in all casual encounters, even in the days that you might think, keepers, nothing happened today. If you really take a look at it closely from the perspective of what did I learn today, there's always a lesson there, always, you know, and when you ask questions, that means that you're looking for answers. And I'll take it a little further. When you're looking for answers, you cannot presuppose what the answer is going to be, because it might surprise you. So you have to be acceptance. You have to have some acceptance of the answer as it comes in, when you find out that it's your truth. Sometimes people get the answers to their questions, and it's a truth that they will not accept, and they will not wear it. So they go in that little aspect of their life, or that little aspect of their reality, or that little aspect of their being. They've allowed untruth to become part of them and accepted it as truth. They've taken it and they've turned it around. We're in that society today. Where up is called down, and down is called up, and right is called left, and that sort of stuff. We see that all the time. Political correctness has been taken away from first coming up as a means of reinforcing in people that it's a sign of respect to not do this or talk this way about this subject or that subject. And they've turned it around, where political correctness is now swung around like a baton to bring people in line. So you see, there's two sides of that web,
Yep.
and it's all in the intent of the one that's doing the tearing apart of the understanding and how to use the powers within it. We're still fully living within that. So, like I mentioned in chat earlier, when the light of enlightenment is so bright, you have two choices. You can shield your eyes until your eyes get used to it, or you can gouge your own eyes out and become blind forever.
It's like cutting off your nose to spite your own face, isn't it? Bo must still be wanting to put his 2 cents in.
Yeah. Stop, you a booger head.
Hi, Bo. We love you too. Maybe that's what he needed to hear, Pappy. He's like, oh no, you opened the door now. Floodgates are going. Hi, Bobo.
He's Pappy's
Hi,
protection.
Bo.
If anybody said anything to me, I had to walk away. My cousin was outside, but yes, I am excited about my son getting married. He's 30 years old. He needs to get on the ball with me, a grandbaby.
I gotta mute myself. There's a siren coming.
Okay. Well, we're very happy for you, Crystal. It's always wonderful to be able to welcome new folks into your family, even though sometimes it doesn't always feel that way. Try to see through their eyes and understand their understanding a little bit, and it always helps to smooth over some of the rougher spots that tend to occur when we're meeting people, right?
Oh, I love his girlfriend. She's awesome. Actually, a little while back, they just purchased a house, $300,000 house, and they paid it off. In other words, this girl, they've been together for a while, and her family left her some money but my son ain't with them because of the money. but she also has a little girl, and the little girl looks like she's older, but she looks like she's 6 or 7 because she had opened up a heart operation when she was born. So it kind of messed her up a little bit. So, but my son loves her to death.
Well, that's good. So you already gonna have a grandbaby then?
Yes. Well, I haven't met her yet. The little girl goes between her mom and her dad. So when and they live in Atlanta, so I haven't got to meet the little girl yet. But she's still my
Have a great day,
grandbaby.
Shep. That's awesome.
Yes. My sister called me last night and told me.
That's wonderful news. Wonderful news to go into the holidays with.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let's talk about the upcoming season and what it means to different people.
Well, I know it's actually not Jesus' birthday. I think he was born in the summer. I don't know why they celebrated us on that day, but that's what means Christmas to me is the birth of my Jesus Christ. I don't care nothing about the trees and all that kind of stuff. I don't care if anybody gives me anything for Christmas because that's my point. And a lot of people need to get back to that. It's not about presents. You got the best present you could ever have for the rest of your life when he died, when he was born and he died on the cross.
Okay. In a lot of cultures, this time of year celebrates the return of longer days. Celebrates the return of the sun, S-U-N. And the days start to gradually get longer and longer after solstice. And this year's solstice is going to be spectacular because the entire world has been invited to add to the vibe of positivity and love across our great plain, right? Across to all humanity. And what a wonderful thing that would be to be a part of that. So I'm going to wrap it back right around to the beginning. And talk about this meditation that they're doing at Uluru in Australia on December 22nd. And Jeff went ahead and the link is in the description. If you guys would take a few minutes, it's about a half an hour long, and go listen to the dates and the times and find out what it's about and see if it's something that you would feel putting like adding your energy to. And if not, at least, send out some love vibes that day.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a good Christmas because there's families that's wasn't able, well, good Thanksgiving too. People that was not able to go see their family and stuff like that because of this coup stuff. And they're able to do it this year and get together. So I think that's a lot of good too, that you're actually going to get to spend time with your family that you haven't been able to see.
Yeah. I think that's going to be healing for a lot of families. For us, the tree is right out of antiquity. One of the original reasons the tree was brought in was a symbol of everlasting life because they are evergreen trees that are usually used around the world. And sometimes they weren't brought in at all, but they were decorated in the place where they stood. And it was being thankful and grateful for that gift of eternal life. Robert, are you having sounds in your background again?
No, ma'am.
Maybe,
I'm
Hen,
having-
maybe you got a Sasquatch out there visiting you.
I'm having thoughts though.
By all means, if you
dangerous.
feel like sharing, please do.
I don't. I know. I better not. It's
Okay.
what I you know what I mean
That's
about
fine.
the summer
I
sol-
mean, we
about oh no, I better hold it.
Okay.
But just to
I celebrate the
give
solstice in this house. In our home, we celebrate the solstice because I want her to have a good understanding of the origins of things, because I feel that knowing some of those origins gives the observance more meaning.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Also, go ahead, Robert. Sorry.
I don't want to make people think too deep today.
You know, I think a lot of people's learn to put their differences aside when it comes to a family because of going through all this. They see as petty and ridiculous.
And to feel tyranny.
Yep.
That's what I don't know. That's what the circle is. See, that's what people don't understand. The circle. They're doing it again.
Hey, Dusty.
They did it to the red people. They did it to the black people. Now they're doing it to the white people. They're going to do it to the brown people next.
They're just using the brown people.
Yep, the medicine wheel.
And I
Red,
think
white, black, and brown.
We are all related.
Yeah, I think some of them are turning a corner and saying that they're being played. You know, put out there as.
I would say that is people in general.
Yeah.
I would say that is people in general. I was watching a Lakota teaching yesterday, which I hope I said that right, because Lakota and Lakota are two different words. I found that out. And if you're not getting the right sound in the K, you're not saying what you think you're saying. It was very interesting. Anyway, I was watching a teaching yesterday that, you know how we are always talking about the political parties as being two wings of the same bird. And in this teaching, the man was talking about male and the female being the two wings of the bird, and the bird could not fly without one or the other. And it hit me. It was very, very powerful to me to hear that, because of all the things that I've studied and come across and things. So my perceptions on different things change as I learn, which is as it should be. But there are some things that always remain. And it got me thinking about how things were symbolized before and how they are symbolized now. And of course, you guys know I'm always thinking about how do we take back our symbols? How do we take back the reverence the original holy meanings of these symbols that they have tried so valiantly to destroy, right? It really got me thinking, because we always talk about that bird in political terms, and yet this man brought back the holy reverence for this bird that I hadn't seen. It gave me a way of seeing what I hadn't seen before. And I thought again about how intricate this puzzle that we are all part of is, and how no matter how far across that puzzle we are from one another, we are still all interlocking pieces.
I just wish we all could come together and started trying to be divided.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're not trying to anymore. We're doing it. It's happening, and in slow increments in some places, and naturally, when you're trying to come together, there will be things that try to separate you. So we have to realize that is part of this as well, right? There are going to be intentional things that come up that may not be intentional from a person, but maybe a dark spirit hanging over something. You know, those exist. I believe they exist.
Crystal said something that I caught about the families not having a good Thanksgiving last year and kind of realizing and maybe different this year. See, there's the division right there. Reminds me of Pappy said something a while back. You'll get, how do you say it? Like me, I had the biggest Thanksgiving last year here than I ever had. This year, just me and Corlin. Okay? So there's going to be, the division comes when, if you think that the government can tell you not to partake with your family, those who follow that, and like me and people I know, don't do that. That reminds me of what Pappy said. There's going to be the people who drive down the street without a seatbelt, see a cop, pull over and say, hey, I need a ticket. I wasn't driving without a seatbelt. And those who don't give a crap. Okay? There's always going to be that weird division of people who that are in the matrix that deep, really. That's what it is. Today's terminology. You're too deep in the matrix.
Who, me?
You're gonna just that division. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The division of you never leave your driveway without your seatbelt on, and other people don't give a shit, right? There's going to be this weird governmental oppressive division, right, and how people perceive it, right? It's that's kind of natural. It's a natural. No, not natural.
If you look at the avatar that I put up right now, okay,
you know what I'm trying to say, right, Pappy?
Oh, yep, and I'm getting ready to expound on it. Okay, the avatar that I put up right now, this is a depiction of the 4 sacred medicines of most Native American people. But what you'll notice is that they're all in different colored plates. Okay, and you have the tobacco, the sweetgrass, the sage, and the cedar. You know, now all of you naturally followed my train of thought as I went from the east through the south to the west to the north. You know, and I was spinning that plate, if you will, in a clockwise condition. Now, each of those medicines have their own power. Each of those medicines have their own spiritual abilities and their own spiritual uses. and their own ideologies that go along with them on why they're used. So it is with the colors of the peoples of this earth. Now, if you look at that as a depiction of a plate, and in that center point right there, that plate is balancing on Creator's fingertip. And Creator is taking that and he's spinning that. And he keeps spinning that. And he spins that in a way that it runs smoothly, it runs in harmony. All of the energy gets a chance to walk around the medicine wheel, so to speak, have their own turn, and spread out all the medicine to all the universe. Well, sometimes one medicine or another may say, hey, you know, I got a little more importance here, or I've got a little more dominance here because I'm closer to Creator, or I think I've got the right idea. Okay. And they get imbalanced, and then this thing starts to wobble a little bit. And when it wobbles a little bit, and it looks like it's getting ready to flip one side or flip the other side, another hand comes in that's not Creator's and says, okay, let me spin this for a while. And that's where we've been. There's been other hands spinning this. Okay. And it's time for us to allow the center point to be the balance, so that all of these are recognized as medicines that have their own strength, that when added to the other, each of those 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals another new 1. Only then will we come to the understanding, you know, only then will we come to come out of what you call the matrix, Robert. Okay.
Right.
And you know, if you're in it and you're born within it, you don't know anything else. Yep, you don't know anything else.
Y'all see my baby?
Yes. Thank you, Pappy, for sharing that with us and for
Yes,
sharing
thank
that
you.
medicine wheel.
I'm
Well,
so
I
thankful.
think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's 4:15, and it's getting
Oh.
a little latish in our area, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I'm wishing you all a wonderful day. And I want to
Same
thank
to
you
you,
guys
Heather.
for all of you for coming up today and for talking with us and for expressing your views, because it is important sometimes that we talk about these things, and we can't get help resolving things without talking about things first. I don't think we're all telepathic yet, but I know that there are those that are. I love
You
you.
can't
Love you,
heal
Pam.
without seeing the wound. Yeah, you can't
Yes.
heal unless you see the injury.
Yes.
Well, I
Well,
love y'all. I love y'all in the chat too. I'll see y'all later.
all right, hon. You have a great day.
Y'all
Bye,
have a
y'all.
great day too.
By golly, on that note, it sounds like a good time for leftovers, doesn't it, folks?
Yeah, I
It
done
certainly
run
sure
right to
sure
the
does.
kitchen just a minute ago. Got some cheesecake. That's why I'm quiet. The spoon every time I pick a spoon up, my mouth flies open.
Oh, I've been thinking about that pineapple upside down cake with the cherries on top again.
My
Yeah.
wife made 4 of those cheesecakes with whipped cream, and then 2 of them she put strawberry on, 2 blueberry. I think the others were.
Mm-mm-mm.
Only thing bad Wednesday when I ate while I was full to get you burping, it tastes like soap.
Well, you know, if good thing you didn't have any lye on hand, you know.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, a combination of the stuffing or the gravy with the cheesecake. It just, wow. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay,
You too.
Badger. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Do you have
I'm
final
thinking-
thoughts, either of you, that you'd like to share?
I said it. If you can't see the injury, you can't heal. Once you see the injury and you start healing, then that's when the healing begins. So hopefully we help someone heal today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you guys for having me. Pappy, thank you for
Absolutely.
everything.
Thanks
Pappy,
for
thank you
joining
for
me.
being you.
Yep, that's all we can be, isn't it?
Yep. I see you.
I see you all too.
I think Harmony Harbor's in store tonight, I think. All right. Love
Yes.
you guys. Have a good
Love
day,
you too.
everybody. Have good
We'll
leftovers.
see y'all. Yep, we'll see y'all later and enjoy your leftovers. And I do want to say one more thing to my dragonfly sister. You have no need to apologize for speaking something that many felt and did not want to speak. But we cannot heal things like this unless we do speak on them. And sometimes that is the way things go. And that is okay too. So I love you all. And Pappy, if you have a final word, you're welcome to say it. And if not, then everybody go enjoy leftover dinner.
Well, I'll say this one thing. Truth has no conscience. Truth does not feel pain. Truth does not know right and wrong. Truth does not know hot and cold, or light and dark. Truth knows what it is. We don't know what truth is. We try to put it into one of the other categories. Truth is. It is neither that nor neither this. And if we can learn to accept that truth is, that's the starting point. That's the spindle upon which our plate has to be spun so that all of our medicines can go out equally, so that we can receive all medicines equally. Truth is the pillar, because truth to yourself leads to love of that which created you in the first place. And it's the love that teaches you the respect for yourself and the miracle that you are, and respect for and the miracle that all of creation is. Mitakoye oyasin. We are all related. It is more than a statement. It is a truth.
I hope.
Hetchitualo. Have a good day.
Aho. All right. On that note, folks, that's a
Anna, if you want to call me, call me. You got my number. Love you.
Ditto, girl. We love y'all. Have a great day.
Love you.